Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Lauren. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 girls, and today we're going to do a fun Q&A. I absolutely love watching Q&A videos from any random assortment of YouTubers, and I've done one before and they're pretty fun, and so I figured it's time to do another one. So I asked on Instagram and the YouTube community page for any and all questions, homeschool related or not. Some are questions for me, and then some are questions just homeschool advice. Let's get started right away. Question number 1, what does a typical day, week look like for you and your family? It really just depends on the week. So if it's during the school year and nothing major is going on, I work 2 days a week, and on those 2 days that I work, my mom comes over, sometimes my mother-in-law, just depends, and does school with the girls. And then when I get home, I see what happened throughout the day, check their work, make dinner, kind of normal stuff after that. All right, the 3 days that I'm not working, I will do school with the girls, normal homeschool day. And then on the weekends is when we like to do a lot of family time. I try to make Saturday my day off. So I try to get my work done, housework, all of that done during the week. So Saturday is free for family, outings, running errands, if I want to do a project, nothing that I feel like I'm forcing myself to do. And then Sunday we do church, and then I kind of try to make sure the house is ready for the week. I try to do my menu planning that day. Doesn't always happen, but kind of a relaxed / getting ready for the week. I try to take a nap if I can. Number 2, tips for a full-time working homeschool mom. So my tips would be, you have to have a little bit of flexibility. You have to find a schedule that works for you. Obviously, I assume if you're working, a normal 8 to 5 job, you're obviously not going to be doing school during that time. I don't know how old your kids are, but when you're at work, who's ever watching them, have them do their independent work as much as they can. So like handwriting or spelling, whatever independent work they can do while you're at work, it'll just make it a little bit easier for you. You might have to make your schedule like, if you don't work on the weekends, do some schooling on the weekends or double up lessons, maybe only do history or science on Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday through Friday is just math and language arts. Finagle the schedule around a little bit. Ask for help when you can. Ask your kids to get involved with chores. It is possible, it is doable. If you're interested, I think almost a year ago, I did a video. It was a whole collaboration it was working homeschool moms, and we just gave tips and tricks and advice and like what works for us. So I'll leave that whole playlist down below, and then you can get a really good idea of a lot of different homeschool moms. There was a lot of moms who worked full time, and so you can get an idea from that. Next, what do you do for physical education? We play. The kids go outside and play. They ride their bikes. They swim in the summer. We have a field behind us. They run around. We'll go on walks. My mom really likes to take them on walks. We go to the park when it's nice. So just play, nothing formal, nothing crazy. Okay, I homeschool 2 girls, 11 and 16. They love to read, but are very picky readers sometimes. I can get my 11-year-old to read certain books, but she ain't happy. But my 16-year-old, nope, not at all, will flat out refuse to read anything but mangas. M-O-N-G-A-S. I don't know what that is. How do I deal with this? So what I would try to do is first consider audiobooks. Maybe get an audiobook that all 3 of you might be interested in, and even if they don't agree to it, get one that you would be interested in, that you think they might agree to, and start the audiobook in the car, driving around the house during some quiet time. At least if she's not physically reading the book and you're not forcing her to, but she has the audiobook, that might be a way to ease into different genres and different types of book. Another thing is if she has any interests, anything at all. It doesn't have to be like educational related. She could be interested in fashion or video games. Have her read maybe a Who Was book about it. I don't know. Who Was is a little bit younger, but maybe have her read a biography of someone who was influential in that specific area of interest that she was, that she enjoys. So it's not just necessarily like read this history book or read, Little House on the Prairie. It's creative, outside the box thinking that I think might be the ticket to getting her to read something other than that one book that she likes. How do you do morning basket themes and what goes in it? I actually just did a whole video on my morning basket, so I'll just leave that down below so that you can check and see what I choose for my morning basket. How do you get your kids to listen to read aloud? So many have said let them do Legos or color while you read to them, but when I do this, my kids are so focused on what they're doing, not a word I'm reading. So then they might not be they might be the type that just needs to listen. And so if that's the case, pick a comfortable spot, pick a time where they're not tired. You know, maybe at the end of the day may not be a good time for them. It might be a great time. Pick a time that's good for them, comfortable spot, get cozy, get together, and then get a book that you're interested in. And again, it doesn't have to be you reading aloud. It could just be an audiobook. Next one, if your kids are doing core subjects in 1 month, you decide to do a 6-week unit study that covers all core subjects. Do you still have, so like, I think she's saying like Gather Round, which covers all the core subjects, something like that. Do you still have your kids do their main core subjects also? So I've never done a unit study that covered all the core subjects, so I'm not really sure. It says, do they not do their core subjects since it's covered in the unit study? If so, when the unit study is over, do they pick up where they left off? I would assume so, yes. So if it covered everything, like I said, I know Gather Round, that's the first thing I'm thinking off the top of my head, does like everything except for math. So if I were to do, let's say we want to take a break, I would stop everything else and just do that. But that's just me personally. But we've never done that. We might one day, we just haven't done that before. Some homeschooling recommendations for grade 1. That one's really tough. I feel like what I choose might not be what you choose. I have a lot of first grade videos. I'm sorry, I feel like this answer is very vague, but I do have a lot of first grade videos of like what I've used. And so maybe you can check some of those out and see if any of that interests you. We've done a Becca, the Good and the Beautiful. We're doing master books for science. So it just really depends on what you're looking for, what your child's interested in, what their learning style is, how they learn best. Planning on homeschooling. My kids are 3 and almost 1. What can I do now to prepare? Complete novice, went to public school myself. So 3 and 1 is pretty young. How is your 3-year-old? How eager is your 3-year-old to learn? Maybe like I didn't really do anything when my kids were little. I remember I tried to with Lola. She's my youngest. And she was the sweetest little girl. I'm just going to preface this by saying that she was very, very sweet. But one time I was trying to do letters with her, like letter sounds, and she did it for about 30 seconds. And then I asked her another one and she goes, "Leave me alone," and walked away. So, it really just depends. If your 3-year-old is eager and interested, just let the child kind of lead. I think at this point, I don't think you need to put the pressure on yourself to like, oh, my kid is 3 and they don't know all their letters and all their letter sounds. It's okay. Don't put pressure on yourself to like hurry and force that. Just enjoy them being little. I know that sounds very cliche because I heard that all the time when mine were that age, but it's really true. Just enjoy that time. And when the time comes for school, then you can go. 3 years old, maybe preschool. I know The Good and the Beautiful has a really cute preschool. There's a lot of Purely preschool. There's another one called Playing Preschool. There's a lot of really cute preschool options available. So maybe consider that. Also read lots of books. I know that you've heard this, I'm sure 100 times, but reading is really good. Read to the 1-year-old. I remember my 1-year-olds, I would always, when they were babies, I would just read them these like 100 first words books. And we read those over and over and over, and any other type of book. So at reading, don't force it unless your child is like eager to learn, then you can take their lead and go as fast or slow pace as they like. Next one is, do you worry about what your middle daughter will miss out on now that she will be in a brick and mortar? Do you worry you might do less field trips and things with your homeschool girls because your middle daughter will miss out? So my middle daughter, Lexi, is going to school next year. She'll be going into 3rd grade. So that just leaves me with Larissa in 5th grade and Lola in 1st grade. So, well, that's a very good question. So part of what we're going to be doing is Like when we do field trips and outings and things like that, most of the time they're done in the afternoon. I don't really love to take off full days of school. Sometimes we do, but a lot of times we'll have a shortened version of school, but we'll still do something in the morning and then take the rest of the afternoon off. So I still haven't figured out exactly how we're going to do that, because I'll have to be there at 3 o'clock to pick her up. So that kind of chops off the middle of the day. So either we'll try to do something before she gets out of school, or we'll do something when she is out of school. It really depends. But she knows that going to school, that was part of it, that we are still going to continue to do things that she may or may not be a part of. If we do it during the school day and she's in school, then she's just gonna have to miss out on it. That was something that she knew and she did agree to. Sometimes my parents will take the girls out for breakfast in the morning. It's not all the time, every once in a while, and so she's probably not going to get to do that, and she understands that and she knows that. So we're not going to just go and have a party, but we're also going to keep living our lives and doing our homeschool as much as we can to keep it normal for the other two. Homeschool Mom book recommendations beyond the typical ones you hear all the time. So I'm sure the typical ones you hear all the time are, let's see, Teaching from Rest. What's the one about being brave? I'm going to be honest here with you, and I feel like I'm always pretty transparent about stuff like this. But I honestly don't have a whole lot of homeschool mom book recommendations. I know that doesn't seem to be like the style and the popular thing, because I know a lot of homeschool moms love reading books. I actually have some of the main ones still on my list to read. I love reading like devotionals and just regular mom books, but honestly, I really haven't read a whole lot of homeschool mom books. So if you are watching this, anybody who's watching this and has really good recommendations, leave them below, because I'm kind of looking for that answer too. So me and this person have the same question. What are some good homeschooling mom books? It's your turn. You answer the question down below. Next one, have your daughters ever cut their own hair? I was expecting it at some point, but my daughter gave herself her first haircut. Oh my gosh, that's so funny that you asked that question. What a timely question. Yes, they have. I just in my recent video where I was cleaning out our homeschool room, I found like chunks of hair, like long strands, not a piece here or there, like this much. And Lola, what happened? Lola got, she had like a knot or something in her hair. And so instead of saying, Mom, can you cut it out? She chopped it off. And I don't know if she hid it, but it was behind the couch. So I don't know if she it just fell. I don't know what happened there. But yes, and one time on Easter a few years ago, Lexi was really little, and I was brushing her hair Easter morning, and I just see this like chunk of like hair sticking straight out, and I was, what did you do? She cut her hair. So we had to part it differently for a few months until it grew out. So I think honestly that just happens. I know I cut my hair, my bangs when I was 7. That is a lot harder to hide than a just random haircut. So I'm with you. I've been there. Hopefully it wasn't too terrible. And if it is, oh well, it's a cute memory. Take their picture, and she'll laugh about it when she's older, just like I'm laughing at myself right now. What's the hardest part of doing YouTube and homeschooling at the same time, and how do you balance those with the rest of life? So there is a learning curve, just like with everything, like doing YouTube. I will film. I've always had in the afternoon, my girls will always have a little bit of a quiet time. It's just time in their room where they can read, quietly play, that type of thing. And so that is when I either work on my actual job work. I can work from home sometimes, or I will film. So like right now is their quiet time. This is when I will film or edit a video and that type of thing. So it's definitely like not in the middle of school, unless I'm filming, a lesson or something like that. It's during quiet time, and then I'll edit videos either early in the morning before they wake up, or late at night, not too late, but when they go to bed. And then sometimes just randomly here and there in the afternoon. I just kind of try to squeeze it in the margins. Next, I've watched so many videos, but if you could just give me some seasoned homeschool mom recommendations for curriculum for kindergarten and 3rd grade. I'm so overwhelmed with choices, and it's our first year, so I'm overwhelmed in general. yes, girl, it is overwhelming. It's very overwhelming. So don't feel bad. Don't feel alone. It's, again, I think I'm going back to that other one, curriculum choices. I have so many videos on that. So I will link down our favorite curriculum, first grade videos, third grade videos. I'll just say this, most of our stuff is The Good and the Beautiful and Abeka. That's what we mostly do for our core subjects. But yes, you are not alone. I do have a curriculum video that will be, if it's not already out, it will be out. And I'll share just how I went through the process of choosing curriculum and how I choose it now. And yes, it's a process, so don't be overwhelmed. You will be overwhelmed your first year, but don't feel too bad. Like everybody feels that way. What do you do for fun, hobbies, interests, hidden talent? What occupied your hours before becoming a mother? Oh, very good question. Do I even remember life before becoming a mother? Let's see, do my hobbies. Actually, I really love doing YouTube. That's a really fun hobby for me. And I think it's a win-win because I get to put videos out there that hopefully are helpful, and it's fun for me. I love creating them, editing them, all of that. It's really fun. And just the community I have come to know in the past year, it's just been really, really great getting to know subscribers and other homeschool YouTube moms. That is my big hobby right now. Before that, I like to do like puzzles, regular like jigsaw puzzles, but just like Sudoku and kind of like crossword puzzles, word searches, kind of nerdy things like that. Nothing really too crazy. I don't know. I'm a pretty straightforward type of gal, pretty vanilla, pretty boring, honestly. I don't really have much going on other than work, girls, home. Like that's kind of takes up all of my time. Before that, I had my daughter when I pretty much like 1 or 2 years after college. So I was working, going through college, started my career, and then I had her. So there wasn't a whole lot of in-between time where I wasn't just always working or going to school or being busy with a lot of things. What planner do you use for homeschooling? Oh, very good question. None. I don't use a planner, and I'm not even joking about that. I use a planner at work. For my job, I have to have one. Like I live and die by that planner. If I don't have one, I couldn't do my job. But when it comes to homeschooling, I really don't. I have a calendar for like video ideas, and if it's really important, I'll put it on that same calendar. But as far as a planner, I might add one this year, and I've had some off and on in the past. I've either gotten them just from Amazon, or this one was the Well Planned Gal, I think it was. That one was really nice. But a lot of times planners can actually overwhelm me, especially if there's a lot of moving parts. I feel like I have to use it all, and then I just kind of get overwhelmed and kind of shut down and never use it. So yeah, maybe this year I'll use one, but I don't know. I'm doing okay without one. So I don't need to homeschool like lesson plan. We do our lessons just one lesson at a time. And I kind of just have a general idea of when we're going to start and end our school. So I haven't really had a need for one, really. All right, next, will you give us updates of your middle daughter and what she's doing at school during your homeschool updates this coming year? Would be so interesting since she's going to be in a Christian school, like her curriculum and what she's learning, etc. Yes, absolutely. Of course I will. I'll let you all know how she's doing, how she's liking it, if she's going to go back the following year, all of that fun stuff. Her curriculum, I think, is mostly BJU, so that kind of works out. So she'll hopefully be a little bit familiar with kind of that traditional style. She did Abeka, and so that and BJU is pretty traditional, so hopefully it'll be a nice, easy transition. What are some of your plans for staying involved in your homeschool life as well being involved with your daughter who is going to school? Lots of school questions. I like it. I ask because I'm going through a similar situation. I'm excited for this new chapter and what God is teaching me through these exciting and different seasons. So hold on, let me see what the question was. Oh, staying involved in your homeschool life is well being involved in your daughter who's going to school. So I think just kind of like normal, how any other parent is involved with their kid in school, you know, helping with homework, studying for tests, making lunches, is your uniform clean, is your backpack a mess, that type of thing. If there's field trips, I'll go on them. And then she'll still play violin, and that's at the school too. So just nothing too crazy, just the normal things. What system do you have for your children's artwork? I have a daughter that draws every single day and has for the last 5 years, and like crazy emojis, mind blown emojis. I've kept in nearly every drawing, painting, craft she's made, and I feel like, oh my gosh, you're like my soul sister. I relate to this so much. And I feel like there should be a smart way to store these things without building an entire house for them. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Yes, there should be. So what I do is I don't save everything, but I say, like, I look at it, I'm like, oh, this is so cute. Like, I'll put it in I have a little basket type box that I'll put all their stuff in for that homeschool year. And then if I look at it and it's just kind of a mess and it doesn't really mean anything to me, I don't really mind throwing it out. Anything that just kind of sparks that, you know, thing inside me that I'm like, oh, let me just save this. So I'll put it in that box, and then at the end of the year, I put away, I take a big like tub, you know, one of those plastic tubs, and I put their curriculum in it, and I put all that artwork in it. And no, it is not efficient, and no, it is not minimalist, and it is not any of those things, but I don't care. I like doing it. I don't want to throw away their stuff. Maybe one day I will, but today is not that day. So I just put it all together with that, and then it goes in a tub in the basement for now. However, there are way more efficient ways. So I know that you can, like, some people, and there's probably even apps for that, where you just like take a picture and it scans it and it uploads it to some fancy app. If you know what that is, just leave it down below in the comments. I haven't gotten that far yet, but I know that that's out there, and that would definitely save paper, save space, all of that. You know, you can just have that in a little album. Thank you for staying with me if you're still here. All right, how do you plan homeschool years, weeks, days? Planner, Excel? I kind of answered that one kind of briefly. So what I do as far as like planning our homeschool days, we usually start end of August is when we'll start. I know we'll take off a few days around like the end of October, just because it'll give us a nice like 6 to 8 weeks. And then we'll take off a few days in the fall. And then I know we'll take off for Thanksgiving, 2 weeks for Christmas. Actually, I think I'm gonna do 3 weeks this year for Christmas. And then I'll know we'll take off spring break and then 1 other week. So I have about 6 weeks or so that I know in my mind we're gonna take off for. Some are strict, like Christmas, Thanksgiving. Some are a little bit more flexible. And then we go till like end of May, and that will give us our full school year. And then in the summertime, we don't full on homeschool, like we do take summer off, but I do have them do workbooks. So that's kind of how I plan it. I get a calendar. I literally just go on Google Calendar. I Google the year, the homeschool year, whatever the year is, and I print it out and I highlight it. I highlight the weeks that we're going to start. I keep it so simple and so basic. It is no Excel spreadsheets, no nothing like that. Just basic all the way over here. What made you decide to become a nutritionist? Would you be willing to share a food video? Oh, good question. I was back in college my freshman year, and I was taking business, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. Like I said, I was majoring in business, and I was taking like an accounting class every day, which was terrible. And I took the business 101, hated it. I was like, what am I doing? So I prayed, and after my first semester, me and my mom were talking, and she's like, well, you really not like nutrition, because in college I got into nutrition. I thought it was very interesting, and you want to help people. Why don't you go that route? Why don't you become a dietitian? So kind of after that, I realized that's what I wanted to do. And I went to a different college, enrolled because that college didn't have it, and got my degree and my internship and all that, and never looked back. So It was very fun. Would you be willing to share a food video? I have done a few. I'm gonna be honest with you. Those were because my niche is homeschooling. Had I started with food videos and nutrition and all that, that would have been a whole different, what's the word? Like demographic audience. And so those videos would have had a different audience. But because I'm a homeschooler, when I share those videos, they don't really do too well. So I will share them here and there just because I still do like it. And so I still will, but it won't be like a main part of my channel. Are you starting school the same day as your daughter starts school? I don't think so. She's gonna be starting on a Wednesday and we're gonna be starting on a Monday. Favorite book you have read with your kids this year and why? Oh, good one. So, I did not really do a lot of chapter book reading, but we did a lot of picture books, especially with our Beautiful Feet books. So there were so many good ones that we read. So I think one was really inspiring. I was like, it was about this little boy. He was born, I think, in Kenya, and his like one leg was paralyzed, and he just overcame so many things, so many obstacles, and like became a great influence on his whole country. And that one I really loved that one. It really stuck out to me, and me and the girls really loved it. We had some discussion on it. So there were so many books I read this year that we loved, picture books that were really amazing. And so that's part of the reason why I love Beautiful Feet books so much, but I think that one kind of just sticks out. Are you guys planning on having more kids? So yes, I would love more. We have 3, 10, 8, and 5. I would love more if God has it. It's been a journey, we'll say that, and it's not happened yet, and so it could be hard and challenging. So I just want to put that out there if you're in that situation too, or it's like you love more and it's not happening. My heart goes out to you. I've thought about sharing that before. Not like a whole video about it, but just maybe like in a day in the life, kind of open up a little bit more, because those videos are they're more personable and I get more personal in those. And so I have thought about that, but yes, that is something that we're going through right now. We'd love to, it's not happening yet. I pray that one day we will have an update that's good news of, great joy, but right now that's not the case. And if you are in a similar situation as I am, my heart is with you, and I know it's really difficult, extremely. So anyway, how do you get your curls? Your hair is always beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. I don't know what it's doing today. I actually really need a haircut. I just curl my hair with a regular old curling iron. I think it's like a 1-inch. I curl it away from my face in sections, and then once it cools down, I just kind of let it, I don't know, I kind of like pull the curls out, so to speak, so that they're a little bit looser. But again, right now I kind of am in way major need of a haircut. But thank you so much, that is so sweet. When do you film all your videos and how do you make time for yourself? So I kind of answered that one about when I film. Making time for myself, I try to in the morning before the kids are up. I'm a morning person, so I absolutely love time alone quietly in the morning. And then during their quiet time is when and it's not necessarily for myself, because a lot of times I'm like working, but time then, and then sometimes on like, just now, especially that the kids are older and I don't have like nursing babies and all that, it's a lot more flexible. So I'll just be like, okay, to my husband, like, okay, I'm gonna go out for a few hours to like run errands or do whatever. To me, running errands is like so much fun. So I don't mind doing that. And so I'll do that like on the weekends or something like that, and just whenever I need it. I don't have any like strict schedule, just whenever I feel like I need it. I try to in the morning, and then as needed, sometimes a nice hot bath, that type of thing. Just making sure. I think I got them all. I think that was the last one. Okay, man, I hope this video is gonna be super long, but I just wanted to make sure I think I answered everything. Last time I missed somebody's question and I felt really terrible. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so that is it. Thank you so much. If you stuck around to the end, you're quite a trooper, and I appreciate you being here. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed but want to stick around for more homeschool style content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you also click that little bell, it'll just give you a notification letting you know when I've posted a new video. Also, I'm really terrible about mentioning this because I just always forget. I'm on Instagram too. If you're on Instagram, I'm over there. I don't share fancy reels and all that fun stuff. I barely ever post, to be honest, but I'm there, and so you can reach out to me anytime over there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.